Welcome back to Factorio, the Nullius mod and the October-November community map. So last time I got this Distillery 2 and this Chemical Plant 2 automated, so that's going to be really handy because they're quite slow to handcraft. Also got the Science upgrade here, so using a better recipe for the blue Science. And finished off doing some aluminium stuff here. So what I think I want to start with today is doing something with glass, because looking at this where the glass is, these are working at basically full speed and it's not really enough glass, and I could scale this up an awful lot more, but I think I've just got better recipes I can use now. So let's just get out the car for a second. So looking at the recipes, I now have a soda lime recipe, which is basically more glass. It makes 6 at a time, a little bit extra time each cycle. But instead of the silicas, it's now using soda and lime as well. And I might even skip that one. I've got an even newer recipe, which is the soda lime 2. This also uses sodium sulfate, alumina and lime. So some things there, and you only need to get those resources together somewhere. That's going to be the thing with that one. So sodium sulfate is basically sulfuric acid based. And this one was quite complicated, but it's more lime, sodium sulfate, graphite and some fluids. So should be able to put those together, and I think that's going to be drastically more efficient. Might also need to look at some point to do with making plastic a bit more throughput as well, because that's also kind of low. And of course on the silica itself, I've gone from silica to silica 2, so this looks like it's more efficient. It also gives me rot tile. Rot tile I believe is for making titanium. I'm not going to actually do that right now, but maybe I'll get the rot tile anywhere and just put it in a box somewhere. Something I did in between episodes as well was I moved this sand belt so it's nice and straight now. Used to kind of go around here a bit because it used to go through the old aluminium setup. Obviously I deleted that before, so the belt was kind of just wandering around, so I straightened it out a little bit to make it neater. As for this upgrade in the silica sand, let's just see if I can check the recipe in place, because that'll be convenient just so I can see what the inputs are. So it's this one, and so that matches up. Do you need to get an input there? I think that is acid, yep, and I need to change that into caustic solution. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the sand. In fact, maybe I'll stop the sand over there. Wait for this to basically drain through, and then I'll be able to upgrade it a bit more easily. Looking at why I didn't have enough plastic, it seems to be CO2 has run out here, so probably an upgrade due for this as well. Looks like with these kind of filled up because I've had lots more wind power, so that one's maybe not even connected, I'm not quite sure. Oh, it's connected, but a lot more wind power, so these haven't been running so much, so I think I need to make some more chimneys. I was looking, I don't actually have a better chimney right now. I think there's one in the future, but I guess for the time being, the best I could really do to solve that problem would be something like just put these here, extend this pipe, and just basically have more of these. I could also upgrade these, but I'll definitely do that after I've dealt with the, at least started with the silica stuff, maybe not done all the glass, we'll see how it goes. So now the sand has run out, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get rid of these. I'm going to use the tier 2 ones because if I'm doing an upgrade, I might as well use the better machines while I'm at it. So the wastewater can actually stay where it is because it looks like that was still a thing, but I think the spacing is going to be different. So let's just clear that out and we'll see what that does. And the saline water, that is definitely gone, and I think this is going to be in the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a cut on that so that I can still have it in my clipboard, and then I'll be able to rebuild it at some point once I've done with the glass, done with the silica rather. And with this upgrade, it looks like nothing's going to be using the saline water anymore, so I can come all the way back here and delete this hydro plant. So that's going to tidy up a bit of space here as well. Still got a lot of sodium hydroxide to get through, so I might have to build some more boxes, but right now I am okay for chlorine. So one of the benefits of these new flotation cells is I can mirror them, so should help me make a better layout for this. What I'm thinking is, let's actually put that the other way around, so I'll keep the wastewater on top. So what this means is I need to have one pipe here to deal with the acid. So what I could do then is put acid like that maybe. There, I do actually still need to fit that pipe somewhere though. So if I move these down one tile, then I can have acid there, wastewater there. And then I should be able to fit inserters in there and there. Now it's a lot faster, so do I think I need 2? It's 15 every second. Well, 15 every 15 seconds, so 1 per second, but with the 2 of these crafting speed, that is 2 per second. So I'm just going to go with 2 inserters. I think that'll be a safer bet. So that moves that there. So actually that pipe won't be exactly there, but I'll still use that pipe over there. Then caustic solution can come in here. And okay, so that's not actually going to leave me space for 2 inserters anyway. Well, we'll see how 1 inserter goes. So power pole can go right bang back in the middle. Inserters there for the output, like so. And then I'll be able to mirror this along. So maybe start with 6 of these and see how that goes. Then need to make a change over here. So I'm going to have what tile. So let's filter that somewhere. I'm just going to search for it actually. I can't remember what section it was in. What tile to the left. That goes there. And then I won't have to worry about this for a long time. I don't know how much I'm going to have. So let's just have a big box. And then once I actually do so with titanium, I'll be able to use it up. Because this only makes a little bit of what tile. But if I look at my recipes, I have also got this one that makes a lot more what tile. So I think what I want to do is use this one for silica. Get the what tile. And then use this to top up if I need to top up. So seeing as the acid is there, the pipe for that should be fairly simple. In fact, maybe I'll just move this one at the bottom here especially. I can put the pipe straight on there, very convenient. Those pipes don't need to go over there. Then caustic solution can... looks like there's a thing there, so that can just connect up. Go across, doesn't quite reach all the way, that's okay, I'll just do that. Wastewater, like I said, I'll keep using the same one I've already got. So again, that's not going to reach, is it? Oh, it does reach, to upgrade it, so let's upgrade it. That goes there. So what I think for the acid though is, this goes off to where I'm converting the mineral dust to sludge. But this is far more important, so we're going to make that a relief valve. And I'm going to let those tanks fill up and just use the overflow to go down there. And I think this only comes from lubricant right now, probably doesn't create enough. So there is a recipe around somewhere I saw. That's chloride, acid, yep, this one. So I can turn chloride directly into acid with just adding some water. So maybe I can put 2 of those there, get some chemical plants. I can also mirror those actually, so that'll be somewhat neat. I'm definitely liking these mirrored versions. So they can go there, then acid. Oh, so water's on the side, that's even easier. And is that pressurized? Yeah, and I can use that water pipe. That water pipe is output from a pump, so that will always be full. Then I just need to get the chloride from that, and making this even simpler actually, I think what I can do, if I just do this, like so, so I'm not putting a pump on this output, I'm just connecting straight in. This will only be able to fill these tanks up to 60%, so this will always have a bit of a space to put in, so I won't have to worry about this blocking lubricant, because the lubricant can just top up. Then they go on there, and I guess I don't really need any limit on this, I can just empty these tanks as much as possible. So that keeps that extremely simple, and water can just come on there because I've already got water there. So that means I'm not going to have any issue with acid for right now. And if I just re-enable this belt, hopefully this will just work without any further issues. Just want to see if it's actually fast enough. I think I've got some faster inserters coming up, but I don't have faster inserters. Like, I won't have them today for sure, but this might be something I need to upgrade in the future. Yeah, it looks like that maybe is not quite fast enough, or if it is, it's very fractional. Let's see, I think it's getting up to 14 before. Yeah, it stops for like a second, or a fraction of a second. I think I can live with that. Looks like this might be full once they're all working though, so I wonder if I can move these on. So I've got 3 there, 3 there. If I did something like that, then I can load onto both sides of the belt. So that should be fine. I've got a splitter there anyway, so it's doing multiple things. So having a full belt would be nice. Now I did say about fixing the glass, because I do still need glass, so let's find this. I guess now I've done that change, it's not going to quite fit there anymore. So it needs to go somewhere new. Well, the belt for glass is there, and I think the glass needs to be on the right hand side. So a really quick solution I suppose would be, let's just put it there. Basically rebuild it kind of as it was. That's going to be on the right hand side anyway. This whole belt can just go away. And then the input will be here, and to get the input I can just take another splitter, put the splitter there. That can come up. And that will keep me making glass for the time being, because I don't want to have no glass at all, because it's making my research stop. Now actually, looking at this here, this sandstone's only got about 130k left. So I'm wondering if what I actually should be doing is making more glass up here, because there's 1.8 million up here. problem is I do kind of want to use up the sandstone, so I think I'm going to do is build here. But if that sandstone runs out, I would always have the opportunity to just relocate it, because I've got construction bots now, especially with the update, they're a bit faster. So that's very useful. So I could just like take this, put it somewhere else, for example. Speaking of this, it looks like when I was playing around with those, I broke the power. So let's go put that power pole back. So looking at the CO2, what I can do is upgrade all these to the tier 2s. Now they have a crafting speed of 2, but I noticed when I upgrade these, so let's upgrade 2 of those. These have a crafting speed of 3, so what that's going to mean is that's basically 6 there, and that's 2. So I'm going from basically 3 to 6 and to 2, so I don't need this extra one on the end. So I can get rid of all these extra ones and then upgrade the other 2, and then that's the right ratio, so I don't need to make quite as many filter 2s. So that was a pretty painless upgrade. I also put another set of chimneys in the middle. I'm not actually sure if it's enough chimneys or not, but it's definitely creating a lot more CO2 now, so that solves that problem. So looking towards the new glass, so 2 of the inputs I needed were the sodium sulfate and the soda ash, but it looks like I don't need very many. I've worked this out, I can need like one feeds like 30 glass things. So if I just do 2, because 2 should be easy, then that feeds, well, more than I need. So that should be easy. I'll have spare soda ash and sodium sulfate for anything else that requires it. Also, I did work out, it's a 1-to-1 ratio from this recipe to this recipe, or rather the other way around. But this is an awful lot of input, so I don't actually know whether I'm going to be able to do a direct insert by the time I've actually got the pipes on this. Because if I look at this, you can see, let's find the recipe, sodium soda ash. So it's 3 outputs there, it's 2 inputs there, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4 solid things. So actually just having a belt like that or whatever is actually going to be quite challenging. So I need to have a think about it. I think what I can do, similar to what I did before, I think, was if that was to be like there, then that can go there. Then I have 1 space here, so if that's there, then kind of similar to what I think I did with, where is it, with these, with being able to have that one there. So similar idea, I think I can do that, and then the belt can go there. But I can only get 1 inserter this way, which means I can't do input and output on that one. And I don't think I can unless I like just move it over a bit, move the pipe over further, put the pipe over here. The other option would be I could put 1 here, which then gets me a belt here. So that could be the way to do it. Have like 2 belts and then I can do that. So that's for something to look at, and I think I'm going to find something similar over here. So for example, if I have those 2 together because they are basically next to each other, then if that was to be there and then that was to be there, in terms of inserter spaces, where can I put an inserter? I actually can't put one there because the pipe's in the way. So the only 2 inserters would have to go there with a belt there. Which isn't too ideal. I'd kind of like to, because I know I want both of these on the same belt, I'd like to have an input and an output. I guess the only place I can actually do that is on this side. That does work. Because I can do 2 there, which makes this an input and an output on this side. And then there's 2 more inputs, which should be, I guess, graphite and crushed limestone. So actually they can go there. And then actually I don't need those there anyway, I just need the fluids, so that does work. As for exactly where I want to build this, so since I know I want these here anyway over there for like the actual glass, I'm gonna put it this way round, build it to the south of this wind turbine, and I guess the pipes can go there, so this should work out. I also know I need alumina, so what I can do is look up here. So I want crushed limestone, so that's going to be that stuff. Probably only need half a belt of it. So something like that. And I want alumina, so that's going to be that. So in terms of belts, come down next to the sand maybe. I think that fits. Yeah, it looks like it fits. So I could come down there next to the sand. That would cross there, and I think I can get past these cliffs as well. Yeah, that's fine. And then I can come down here. This is going to be a bit of a mess. Don't think there's too much I can really do about that, unfortunately. So probably I did not want to do that. Just cancel. Wanted you to underground belt. So probably come across here as far as I can. Down and then across again, maybe. Could move that all the way back to there. That frees up a bit of space. And likewise, I could move that over to there. Then that can come down, come across. And then, you know, if I ever need to expand this, I'll probably just build this somewhere else. So let's go with saying there. And then I'll leave the space in between these wind turbines, so this passage here, for any pipes and belts and stuff I need. Just decided to put that on the other side because of then this will side load correctly, I believe. And it's definitely very nice having these robot networking. It's very nice that these got made faster in that Nullius update. So I didn't even need to go up there, I'm just down there. But I'll put that belt in and now I can work out these. Got graphite just there, so that should be simple. I can come down along there. Make sure you don't accidentally side load anything, that would be a bad thing. So then graphite there, probably only need half a belt of graphite. So until I decide exactly how I'm doing that, I've already got a splitter there actually, so let's just do it that way. And then that will be the output because that's where I can put 2 inserters, so I can do that. Their input, so this will be my belt of 2 things, so don't know if I need to do anything else with the graphite right now, let's just assume not. This was going to be a mixed belt, this had alumina and limestone on it, I just want the limestone, so let's just search limestone, specifically crushed there, on the left hand side, that's good. So for now, until I decide, like I said, something better, I'm just going to do that, and then that can go and feed those. The other part of that was the sodium sulfate, so that's going to look like that. Actually, that's a very simple recipe because it's just got 1 input, 1 output fluid, so that can go quite nicely. So if we say that's going to be the belt because that's going to end there, then I can have another belt here. What I do need to do is make sure this ends up on the opposite side. So if that goes around like that, then it's on the opposite side to where that's going to be, so that'll be good. Pipes can just be like that, so that'll be very simple for those. So underground to get past the inserters. Actually needed to move that. How much space should I leave here? Maybe I'll leave 1 more tile of space, so it's a distillery gap in between. That then of course leaves space for inserters there, there and there. And I think I need 4 of these, so this I can just copy paste. So in terms of fluids for these, so that can go there, go over there, so I just dump the wastewater. Probably like that, I'll just put it somewhere. In fact, maybe I could come out the bottom end, would be easier. So then that would look like wastewater there. Goes up to there, around that corner. Then I need sulfuric acid, and I have, what's the output on there? Sulfur dioxide. So sulfur dioxide is that, sulfuric acid is that, so that's 2 new pipes here. So I can get across there, it's going to feed into there then. In fact, I don't want to put it exactly there, let's put it there instead then, because I do want to fit a pump. So I'm going to replace that pump, so what I'm going to do is change that, so this is only going to fill that tank up to 60%. And then this will be able to fill it up again, so this will get priority because this is the surplus output. And for sulfuric acid, just kind of go around there, follow the oxygen and link up with that output there. And then I can bring both of those things over here. Got a carbon dioxide output there, so what I can do with that I think is, I'll join it with this one here, so basically it will be pushed into this tank with priority. Which along with that surplus CO2 there, so that will work out nicely, reusing stuff I've already got. Always makes these things a little bit easier, so just need to get those pipes to connect together. So that's the two outputs on there. As for inputs, acid, well I just did acid earlier, so that's just going to come down, and oxygen. In fact, I already have oxygen up there, so that's going to be easy to come up to there. I just need to do a little kink in it there, I guess, just so it goes around there. And then what's the output on that? Calcium chloride solution. I haven't seen any recipe that uses that, but looking at the state there, you can just dump it. So maybe I dump that as well, build a second one of those. That would come maybe in this line here. So that makes that incredibly simple as well, unlike simple things. So that's sorted, wastewater sorted, acid is sorted, other acid I can get, and yep, they're all sorted. Actually, hardest part of doing the acid might be just finding a gap through here. So basically I need to get over to there. So that's looking to be actually a lot trickier than I thought it was going to be. Maybe I can come through, is that a space? That looks like a space. So then that would be able to come down that far. That's not doing what I wanted it to do because it's just not going to line up with it. That is something else, so coming along there, where's a gap on there? I think that's a gap. So I need it to line up with that one. So, does that quite reach? Doesn't quite reach, I can put one there. So I should get the acid down. And sodium hydroxide for this, I can just take a belt from here, bring it over there. So that's one of the reasons why I built this here actually, was a lot easier to get the resources I need right now, like acid and sodium hydroxide and stuff. I did say I might move it over to the sandstone at some point. There's lots of space up there to build, but when I get around to doing that I will have to decide how to get the other resources from here over to there. So that is now working. One problem I didn't really pay attention to is this needs 5 sodium hydroxide every second. The way I build this at the moment, I can't get enough inserters on there. I'd have to put the inserters, for example here, or change the pipe layout so I can get more than one inserter. On the input side, I might just leave it and see how that goes, because I said you could get a lot of glass for not very many of these. So for the time being that might not matter, and by the time I actually do need more scale, I might have the better inserters ready anyway. So we'll be leaving that alone and moving on to glass. So looking at this glass, I've got the sodium sulfate, I've got the soda ash, I've got the alumina brought down. I need to make lime from the limestone, and I need to bring the silica down. Now at the same time I was also looking at the hard glass. This also needs alumina, silica and lime, but it also needs boric acid. Now I don't actually know what I need hard glass for. As far as I know, nothing right now, so I'm not going to necessarily build this. But it does mean what I want to do is have alumina, silica and lime on a couple of belts, so it has to be 2. But in a way that can be reused easily. Also looking at this recipe, since it's so slow, I'm not going to be able to put them like here, because I want to leave the space clear. So what I'll probably end up doing is if I leave a gap here for whatever I forgot to put in the future, basically just bring that up, that can come across there. Then I'm going to look at what's in on this glass and it's not on the hard glass, which I think is nothing. Nope, just those 2. So what I could do to that end is if I put the glass output there, then I can have the furnaces. So I should have furnaces here somewhere. So let's just put those in line with that so it looks neat. So furnaces will go down that way. Is it not a furnace for glass? Give me a second just to check the correct recipe. What did I actually want? Foundries. Get confused between these different machines sometimes. I always think of furnaces for glass. I think because a couple of other mods do that. Whereas foundries are, I think, I don't know if they're actually strictly speaking a Nullius thing, but they're not something I've come across recently. So glass will be there. I've actually got CO2 here, so I want to get this CO2 over to, I guess I want to combine it with this CO2, so maybe I will move that pipe around. I wonder how far across I can reach. Not quite far enough really. Well, I can do like, yeah, that's not really far enough. I'm just going to put a pipe there for the time being, and I'll figure that out later. And that doesn't reach either. Well, close enough. So that's what I use that space for. If I need to put something else there, I'll think up a better solution, but for now this will work. So CO2 output, then the other 3 inputs on there. Thinking for silica, if I bring it down, let's bring it down somewhere around there because it'll be easier stuffing. That can just move over, and basically what I'm thinking is I can put a splitter on the silica here, loop that around, and I guess I'll side load it on there for now. Just don't need to have too much on the belt really. And I know I need a silica and alumina, so if I bring that belt up there, kind of a shame I side loaded it on the wrong side, didn't I? Oh well, I'll just do it that way. So that gives me those 2 things. And then I need the limestone for something, so let's just separate the... Actually, I could put that there, it'll be a bit more compact. Then that can go there, that can go there. Could actually wrap that around there, that makes that more compact too. Then that can go there, and then I have limestone here to use. So looking at this, it doesn't actually use up very much lime, it's just 1 every 10 seconds. So probably I'll be fine with just a few of the lime processors, so I'm going to build 3 there. See how that goes. When I do the hard glass, I guess the hard glass is going to end up being south of this then. Then I'll have to think about the math a bit more, but for now I can do that. Oh, that's interesting, so I've got CO2 output on there as well, so that can all link up with that pipe. That does make that a bit neater. So then input will be there, and it can output onto this belt here, and then they can use it. So basically inputs there, output across, actually that'll be a short one, short output there. I've got to contend with the pipes. Let's just put it on the, let's just go over the top edge, because it'll be easier for these. So then inputs on these, inputs there, there, and did I get that right? I think I got that right. So that goes across, and then that will output there, and then that inserter can get it. The basic thing is to make sure that inserter is downstream of the first one of those. So now I can go get my limestone, and I just need to put it onto this belt. Then on this side, should have 2 inserters here, so inputs and output. And glass is working, so now glass can come up here. It's just convenient, so you can actually miss all that stuff and go through this gap here. Brilliant. Again, making sure I don't accidentally put it on top of that side load belt there, because that would be bad. And where's my glass right now? So the glass is going to be on the right hand side. Convenient is the correct side. This is a mess. I really kind of want to tidy up this stone stuff here. The problem is I'm getting so much extra stone, and I'm not using up that many stone bricks right now. So I probably need to store even more of those. I'm going to run into problems soon. And I guess for the time being, until I get around to that, I can... Yeah, I think I'll go with that. So glass can go there. Kind of a gap there. And then it can join onto there. But I've already got a gap there, conveniently enough, so that makes that easy. I guess it could go up there, but that's kind of cramped already. So I'm going to keep it going around there for now, and then that glass goes to the chemical plants. So what that means is I can basically turn this off, and they might as well just use up the silicates on the belt already. And once they've done that, I will dismantle them. So I built another 3 of those, so 6 in total. This seems to be working very good. Dismantled the old glass, but I think this is going to be plenty of glass. And I thought I was short on plastic, but it looks like over time that has built up. I think the main reason I was short on plastic was actually the lack of CO2, and since I've upgraded those, they have restocked up the buffer. So I think the plastic is good for the time being. So in terms of what to do next, I want to get through this research to get up to this... Well, it's cybernetics 3, and specifically cybernetics 3 gives me the chassis 3. Because this has an inventory size bonus of 20, I have 10 currently, so that's another 10. Also, there's personal storage here, that's another 10, so all in all, that would give me 20 extra storage. Now, most of the bits here are relatively straightforward, but I need to make textiles, titanium, and ceramic powder. As far as I know, nothing I'm coming up actually needs those right now, and I don't know what I'm going to need them for, don't know where, and I don't know how much. So I'll probably try and do is craft the smallest amount possible, basically just to make the chassis free, get that upgrade. And also by doing that I can kind of, gives me some experience with the recipes, so I then know what the recipe does. And it'll make it a bit easier for when it comes to building a layout for it when I come to do it on a mass production scale. So starting with this weaving one to make textiles, so looking at that, a food I've actually not made yet, but I think I've unlocked, if I have, is this one here. So propane, oxygen and ammonia. So I've got ammonia to the south, oxygen is easier, propane. And if I just do something special for that, so I can get propane from these. Well, I've not got any stored up there. I think these are restricted by the amount of, yeah, they're restricted by how much benzene I'm using to make rubber. But I could take the propane from here and make, I don't need to make many, I need to make like 20, it's a small number. So I can do that. Then I need to just bring ammonia up temporarily. I'll make ammonia here. Yeah, I guess what I can do is I can run a pipe up just through the middle here, lose space. And once I'm done, I'll just dismantle it. So this will be a temporary pipe just for doing this one thing. Ammonia is pretty cheap as well, so I'm not overly worried if I lose any ammonia in the pipe when I delete it. So I think what my plan for this can be is if I delete this propane connection, where's that one? This one here. Then that's going to stop the propane going over to make the plastic there, so I'll have the propane. Also got oxygen just there, so I can grab the oxygen, bring that up, bring up the propane, so that gives me the three things I need, I believe. Looking at this quickly, I also need water. I think I can get that easy enough, and I can get sodium sulfate by hand. And let's just check how much I need. So I need 10 of them, so I just need to do basically 2 crafts, 2 cycles. So first things first, one chemical plant, set the chemical plant to the recipe. And I just need to match up these inputs. So, okay, that one matches up with that. This was going to be oxygen, I think. So once the robots have gone and built that, that will go across there. This one was ammonia. Ammonia is needed there. That's what I mean. It's a very temporary thing. So I'm not going to worry about the actual wastewater output. It can just sit in the chemical plant because I don't need very much of it. And since hopefully the glass is over here, yes, it looks like glass is over here, and this is now working again. Hopefully it won't take too long for this weaving 2 to complete. Maybe while I'm waiting for that, I'll just build some more wind power or something, expand out a bit. So that tech is done, so I can make the next step, which I think is a chemical plant. Nope, I should actually look at the recipe. So look at the actual recipe. It is a flotation cell, that's fine, I've got those as well. And then to make the fibre itself, where is that? Textile rather, and that's an assembly machine. So, going to need one flotation cell, which can connect onto there, and one assembly machine. Flotation cell makes fibres. That makes textile. I'll go get, well, that's actually, I only need 2 of those. I'll go get 2 of those. That can go that way around so it connects. That can go there so it reaches. I'm meant to have one space in between rather. So that reaches, and water I can take from, I'll take this water here. And that is actually already more than enough for acrylic fibre because I just needed to do 10 of these in total. So start tidying this up. And what I've learned along the way then is fairly simple, that if I'm going to scale this up and do it in a large quantity, propane is going to be a thing I need. So I'm going to need to do something else kind of like this to just produce more propane. And since these produce, where's that one machine, since these produce ethylene as well, that could be quite useful because I can use that for plastic and stuff, and I think some other stuff was using ethylene too. The main problem is benzene, because all I'm using benzene for is a tiny amount to make the rubber hair. And that's basically my bottleneck on propane production, is what to do with the benzene. So maybe at some point I'll see another recipe come up that uses benzene. So looking at one of the upcoming things, which was the ceramic powder, again only a small amount. And I think the most difficult to craft bit there is going to be the boron. Now that is boric acid. It turns out you get boric acid from volcanic gas. It's basically the same as volcanic separation, but you get boric acid. So I can leave that running for a moment. I'm just going to get 4 of these and then put the recipe back. So that's 3, 1 more to go, that'll give me 4. So, oh come on, just give me 1 more. Why does that have to get stuck right now? If I delete some pipe, rebuild some pipe, there we go, that works. So I put that back. So since there's 2 recipes are very similar, I'm guessing the way I'd have to do this is basically have 2 distilleries at some point, one with doing each. and then make the boric acid one have priority. So if the boric acid fills up, like it fills up its box or whatever, then I'll be able to make some more sulfur dioxide without using the boric acid. But for now I'm just going to leave that how it is. That's a future idea. So actually another very useful thing I realised I could do while waiting for this is, as well as the upgraded silica recipe, I do have an upgraded silicon ingot recipe. So basically it's going from 5 to 3 to 6 to 5, so that seems like a lot more efficient on the silica. This means less sound usage, so that's good. And I'm adding oxygen, which is really easy to get, and I'm getting carbon monoxide, which is actually more valuable than the oxygen is anyway in this game. Graphite is also still there, so basically if I just dismantle this, then get this out the way, because I can't do this with the furnaces I've got. I need to upgrade to the better furnaces. So that is out the way. I was debating whether I should build this somewhere else just to tie this area up, but I think I should just keep it where it is for simplicity. So keep the output there, I guess. Then we're going to look at that. So I think the way of doing this is actually if I move these over one tile, turn my robots off, turn those back on, then I can have a pipe here, like so, and I can put the inserters in the way there so they can reach the belt. And then likewise on this side have the pipe there, then put the belt on the other side of it. So that will be again a mixed silica and graphite belt, and I can probably rearrange this to be a bit neater as well. For example, could it just come down there and be straight? Not quite, because of where I built the other stuff. Well, I guess I'll leave it for now until I tidy up properly, but that can go there. That can move up there to be a bit less in the way. Then I've got silica here already, but I need to merge it in some form. So maybe the best way of doing that would be that underground's there out the way, then that can come there. In fact, then that doesn't even need to be an underground belt anymore, it can just go straight across. That goes there. That can be a splitter to a side load, that can go there. And don't accidentally side load the plastic. So then inputs will be like there and there, the outputs there and there. Power should be fairly simple, and I just need to get oxygen. Let's not get myself stuck. Oxygen and then carbon monoxide out. Carbon monoxide I'm using around here somewhere, I think. Oh yeah, that pipe there, that's carbon monoxide, so this pipe here is carbon monoxide. So if I extend this pipe over here, then that can be my output. And actually that'll be very convenient, I guess, just to connect like that. So I can flip these around, make that the output side. Then I want silicon ingots down there, so actually that can go that way very conveniently. So output there, and then oxygen. Oxygen I have around here somewhere. Oh, it's just here. I think that's an input. Yep, that's an input belt, input pipe. So that can come. I was going to hit that, isn't it? Don't really want to move that right now because that's a lot more stacks than I can actually basically fit in my storage quite well at all, really. I'd have to empty all my stuff out and just be a pain. So let's come around there with the oxygen. Different systems. Oxygen. Why does it think there's something different in this pipe? Oh, that one's the wrong way round. Let's try fixing that now then. Okay, that works now. So this should provide me a lot more silicon ingots with better efficiency. So firstly I need to make the boron. Boron is furnace, and I don't really care about the wastewater. I can just basically pour it on the ground. It's going to be a tiny amount. So that there, boron, give it the inputs. Then for ceramics themselves, that's a furnace as well, so I guess I'll reuse this one. Ceramic input. Oh, I need some silicon ingots. Well, if I can get those from somewhere. How many do I need? I need to do 2 of these. I need 30 ingots. Probably I had them and I just put them in that machine because they were surplus. Oh well. Hopefully, actually let's go get them. Easy enough. Yep, there's 33 on the way. That'll do nicely. Then nitrogen is there, so that can just be a temporary pipe for that. So as soon as I get those silicon ingots, I will load this up, and then I'll be done on another part of my chassis free recipe. Looking at the recipe, actually another thing I can do while I wait for those to come over is I can make that efficiency module. So modules I think should be here, yep. So logic circuits I've got, memory circuits I've got, green wires I've got. So I've got all the stuff to make them, but I'm going to have a use for them right now. So again, if I find a mass production use case, I can do this. Although this is kind of a mess, so whether I actually do it here or just rebuild the whole circuit thing somewhere else, maybe down there, maybe I'll strip out the steel, because I think I've got a better steel recipe coming up anyway. So I've definitely got a better iron recipe. I should have probably replaced this entirely with this one anyway. So there's lots of upgrades to be done with the iron here anyway. So that frees up some space, because this circuit's kind of like overlapping now with some of these other intermediates, and it's all a bit of a mess. So that's all the ceramic dust I need, so ceramic powder rather, so let's pick this up. Don't really care about the extra boron, so I'm just going to let that go on a network somewhere. But got my textile, got the ceramic powder, I need the steel making and then the titanium stuff, and then I should be done with that stuff. So looking at the upcoming titanium, one thing I need is sodium. So looks like I can get sodium crystals, or whatever those are. Look kind of like crystals to me. Straight from sodium hydroxide. So sodium hydroxide's here. So this one's very easy. I just need to put an electrolyzer down, which I probably don't have, and yep, that's a lot of crafting. Well, I'll put an electrolyzer down in a minute. So that's going to be one like that. And since it's only got one input, very simple. I think it produces other outputs, which is oxygen and water, neither of which I really care about in the quantities in question. So that I can just leave to do its thing. Other things I saw I need was nitric acid, oxygen and ammonia in a chemical plant. So a chemical plant there, ammonia is down there, I can get it, and oxygen, did I have that around here somewhere? That's there. Can I actually get that underneath here? That would be convenient. Yes, I can. So that can be the oxygen supply. I wonder if it actually lines up with that. Nope, other input. Well, I can put that there. So oxygen and ammonia can come from down south. So that's built, so I can now enable that. I'm just going to let that build up where it is for now, because I haven't looked at how much I need. I just need enough to make 20 things in the end. Also going to need some watt tile, and might be something else I need to check. Argon. Argon is a thing I need to get. So I'm looking at the upcoming research for that. I think what I want to do is convert this, because this isn't actually for CO2 production. This is making nitrogen, but I can repurpose it to make some argon as well, maybe. Actually, I've not really got an easy way of getting out there. Let's put this back on what it was doing, air separation, and I'll make a new one. So I need 2 distilleries for this, and I'm just going to basically dump the other outputs. So I need the air separation 2 to give residual gas, and I convert the residual gas into argon. So residual gas is the one I want to connect, and then the other stuff I really don't care about. So I'll make some chimneys and get rid of the other stuff. Air should be easy. I can just take an air filter. I think I have one. Yep, I do. So that connects up there. That goes through there, and chimneys, don't care about CO2, don't care about nitrogen, don't care about trace gases either. I just need to make a little bit of argon. And it's only like 1 argon per ingot anyway, so it's a tiny amount of argon I need. Not really worth disturbing the existing stuff anyway, because I'd probably end up getting stuck with too much argon. So now that's done, have the nitric acid. I think I have everything here. I just need to go and get graphite. Actually, I've got loads of graphite I've picked up from somewhere. I need to go get the watt tile. Meanwhile, it looks like my exploration efforts are paid off. So there's a way through there, a way through there, and a way through there, and maybe there, without having to do landfill. And I'm not sure if that goes around or whether that stops. I need to explore down there. But the big thing I did find is these. So that's 3 volcanic gases. So that can be another 3 of these, and that will be another 8 megawatts of continuous power. So if I can just take this very simple layout, actually I can't, can I? Because, interesting, they're quite close. Well, I can do something and basically expand it out slightly differently. Have some more heat pipes, I guess, not quite as close to each other. But that'll definitely be another nice power bonus. So titanium processing tech is done, so I need to figure out what to do with this. So firstly, a medium furnace will take chlorine, so let's get some medium furnaces and the chlorine pipe. So I can do 2 there easy enough, so that's going to make a different fluid. So I might even want 2 of these, maybe I'll just do 1, it'll be easier. Do it like in the middle there, so fill that up, give it power and it should start working. That gives me that. Then to make ingots, I need to take that fluid and a flotation cell. So let's see which way around that wants to go. That way by those things. So that connects. Then I've got my argon from that, so that connects over there. Give that some power, and then sodium, I can just bring the sodium from there. Oh, I guess it is actually getting full of stuff. So oxygen, I'll just vent it. And water, I guess I can't vent it. What I can do is I can have a tank, and then I can delete the tank and just spill it on the ground. But then those go in there, and that will give me titanium ingots. Then I need the nitric acid and the ingots. Nitric acid is this one here, and a foundry. So foundries I should have. Well, apparently not. Someone's made one. So input pipe there, that lines up with that. So into there. Set that to titanium plates. I just need to make 20 of these. So let's just go and do this by hand, just moving the bits about until I have 20. Wow, doing well on geothermal today, so that's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those. So I was slowly building up the resources to get through them manually, but that's another 7. That said, like, I'm not actually doing much handcrafting right now, so I guess I can just handcraft those as I get done. Because even if that's 7, it's not like I need thousands of the things. Not like wind turbines, where if you look how many wind turbines I've got now. Definitely grateful I automated that. That said, the one bit I maybe do regret dismantling was the Stirling engine thing. And I'm probably going to make the same mistake again, because I just want to do this quickly, so I'm going to make a temporary one. So air separation with a couple of air filters. So one air filter. Let's do it this way around, that seems like a nice compact way. 2 air filters, vent the CO2, don't care about that right now. Then I need to compress it, so we're going to find myself a compressor. Does that fit there? It doesn't quite fit there. It can go, that can go there. So fit that together. And what else was it I needed on the Stirling engine? So compressed CO2, compressed nitrogen rather, I need lubricant, and the other stuff I'll just feed it manually. So what sort of machine was that? An assembly machine. So basically that machine's going to go there. It's going to make Stirling engines, which were on here. Turn that around that way. Lubricant pipe, I have one up there actually, so I can bring this down quickly. So that comes down, feeds lubricant into that. Then I'm going to have it have an output so that they can go off and build stuff automatically. But I'm just going to fill this in manually with inputs. Also, I did get the 21 titanium plates before I left. So all of this is also now basically redundant. When I get around to doing CO2, when I get around to doing titanium for real though, I think I'll actually build titanium here, because a lesson I learned from doing this is that I need a lot of these resources. I need the sodium hydroxide, I need the ammonia, I need the chlorine, and it's not a lot of solid stuff. I just need to get the rutile, and the rutile is basically next to silica. So what I could even maybe do is just put the rutile and the silica, just leave them both on this belt. Although it's only a short belt right now. But maybe if I move the stuff up there I would. I have to see what I decide to do about sandstone, because it doesn't look like there's more sandstone around here at all. Haven't explored out, but there is sandstone up there and up there. So maybe the logical place to build up that would be here maybe. Or even up here, just go north of the whole lot. Problem is up there, I've not got any chemicals. I'd have to run the chlorine pipe or something. So I'm going to put those down in the toolbar for easy use. So I need 10 of them around each of these. So that's going to be an issue around there, because like there's not enough space in between them. There's also cliffs. So let's see what I can do. So that could be 1, 2, 3. Guess I want to leave that space free for that one. Let's see what I can get up here. 1, 2, 3. So that's 6 so far. Then that would be 9. That would be 10. I wonder if that pipe's too long though. I'm gonna have to test this, I guess. Maybe I'm not going to switch into editor mode on the save. What I might do is save the game, then switch to the editor, and then I can basically just see in the editor what's going on. As for the heat pipes, let's just look at this. I think it's easy to see. Yep, there's heat pipes on the corners and in the middle of this machine. So corner, corner, and middle, and corner, and corner. So should be the right number for that machine. Then coming over to this one, that's 1, 2, 3. That's going to touch that one whatever I do. So 1, 2, and 3. Guess maybe the best way would be to do these ones here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That should make 10 in total. One, the heat pipe there touches that corner. That touches that corner, and that touches that corner. Then see about this one. So probably a bit more space here. Could do that 6. Then that is 9, and the 10th one could go, say, there. So nowhere near as elegant as the way I did the first one, so I'm going to monitor it a bit to see, just to make sure they run at the speed they're supposed to run, but should be good. Then if this works, then I know for the other 7, and the other 7 will be easy. I'll just go ahead and do those, but I will monitor this one first. And in fact, looking at it, so if that was 7 and 3, in total that would be 10. So that would be 100 megawatts on these. These aren't pretty efficient though, so I think it's 80 megawatts. For 80 megawatts, if we look at how much power I'm using on average for, say, the past hour, 80 megawatts will basically just be my entire power supply. So as well as wind turbines, these wind turbines then just become like additional extra. I'll be able to get most of my power from geothermal. So that'll be a really nice upgrade. That's really nice to find. So got the cybernetics tech, so I can craft that. So that should only take a second. What I can do then is just remove the stuff out of there. Not going to take that one now because I end up dropping stuff on the ground because those slots are used and I'd lose the bonus. But what I can do is I can swap that with that and then it won't drop stuff on the ground. Now I'm also wondering is now I've got the bigger one, since the robots are usefully fast since that Nullius update came in, is maybe I want to actually have more than one hangar, more than one charger. In fact, I'm not even sure why I had a separate charger for hangar. I guess I started the game that way. But yeah, I could get additional ones because I do have them here somewhere. So I can remind myself where they are. They're over here. So I could kit out a little bit. I can't make more solar panels right now. Well, actually, I guess I could. I could go get some of that. I've probably got some in storage. So I have to see how power goes. So far, I've not had any problems with power on the armor though, so that I don't think I can do anything with. So let's look at this armor. So solar panel, hanger, and charger. Was there anything else in there? I forget. Oh, I can put capacitors in there. Did I have capacitors in there before? I forget. Oh no, I had these battery ones, so they're better than capacitors. They have 3 times the capacity. So I think I'll leave that alone roughly for the time being. So let's just check the charging thing. So does that not provide charging? Oh, so it says only provides 1 charging point. But I guess that also provides range. So is it better to have that, which is a 3x3? Or is it better to have separate? That's what I'm trying to work out. So that's construction area 16. So it goes up to 18 by 18. What I also could do if I find them, well, if I put some of these relays in, what do they do? Because they're like, okay, so they're boosting the construction area a lot. So that's actually quite good. So basically 3 of those is produces the construction area from 18 up to, that's a very nice construction area. So let's go with like 2 of those. That's good. And maybe I can go 4 charges. So let's just put some more of those in there. Let's actually not carry too many of those around either. Let's just put those there. So coming back to this, charging pads. Could do something like that, and then I can fit 1 more solar panel if I need it. Kind of a shame you can't rotate these, but oh well, I guess I'll put batteries there. We'll see how this works out though, because it's only 1 solar panel powering it. It might not be enough. Well, I guess these don't consume power passively, do they? Only when they're charging. And they don't use power at all. They just do nothing, by the looks of things. Recharge rate 0. So I think once the solar panel is actually producing some power, I should be good. It'll just take a while to fill up again. In fact, I guess I might as well make that solar panel since it fits there so easily. And there's no reason not to put capacitors in the small gaps, because what else am I going to put there? I haven't actually got battery production just yet. guess that's a thing that's coming up. In terms of research, I have started researching towards the next tier of robots, which probably need batteries if I recall. I did look through the text when I queued them up, but I'm not going to go through them again right now. So I'm probably going to take a pause here. What I'm going to do though is quickly switch to editor mode. I just want to see if that geothermal setup actually works properly or not. So game is saved and I got the nice editor warning. So if I come down there in this view, what I want to do then is if I disconnect this from the power grid, in fact since this is a save game whatever, I can just delete this, get out of my way. Don't want those either, so all I've got on that network should be, yep, the 30 of those. And if they each produce 800, then that should be 30 times 0.8, so I should get 24 megawatts continuous power. So the way I like to test this is if you have an electric energy interface, you put that down, set the power production to 0, set the power usage to max, and I'm just going to bump up the speed. So these are running in a little self-contained network, and I just want to make sure it stays at 24, that it doesn't get too cool and the heat pipes don't. If the heat pipes too long, what will happen is like this machine here won't be hot enough and I'll start losing power. So I'm going to make sure it's in a steady state. It looks like it is in a steady state around 170, 180 degrees centigrade. So when I first tried these out actually in Nullius a few versions ago at the start of, I guess near October time, there was actually a bug where if the pipe got too hot, the machine would become less efficient as the pipe got hotter basically, which didn't really make sense. That has been fixed in updates, so this now works very well and gives the correct 24 megawatts I expect. So then I'll be able to do the same thing over here, build those up, and it will be a really nice power source. So going back to my proper save game, that was just literally for testing. So I'm going to be leaving it here for today. I did quite a few quite useful things. I did all the glass upgrades, so a lot more glass production here, a lot more efficient, as well as the general silica and silicon upgrades here, which is going to be really useful. Upgraded the CO2 production over here, so that's going to be really useful. It's basically double the capacity it was before. And through various upgrades I got an extra 2 rows on my storage here, so that's going to be really handy personally, because I was, as you can see, starting to fill up with various random bits and pieces. Guess things like that titanium plate and stuff I don't really need, so I can fill up a few slots now. But even then, like, by the time I've got the bits I want for crafting, the bits I want for building, running out of space. Coming up for next time, I think I want to upgrade the steel, because the steel is kind of struggling, and this isn't the most efficient setup I could do at all right now. In fact, looks like I've even broken it. Yep, at some point I broke. This is when I fed the crushed iron in from the aluminium production. So I actually broke half of this anyway. But yeah, I think I want to replace this and just use the more efficient iron setup. And I've also got a more efficient way of doing steel coming up. So that is this one. So steel with lime, and I have lime, I have oxygen. That's easy. So move on to that recipe. Also got upgrades for all of these rods and plates, both for iron, steel, and actually aluminium as well, so I can upgrade these too. So lots of upgrades to do, as well as just making my way towards getting the next tier of robots. So be sure to like, subscribe, and look out for that.